You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Gene. Johnson.
The AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AFTERBUZZ TV's Attack on Titan After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Attack on Titan After Show.
Yeah! This was such a great and happy episode. Another happy episode of Attack on Titan.
Are we watching the same show?
I think so.
I don't think
Only good things happen in this show.
Right.
Joining me this week, the lovely Katie Cullen.
Hello, everyone.
And Megan Salinas.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
You guys gonna match a little bit.
Oh, do
next
we?
Yeah, like the black and
sure.
green.
Like flowery thing.
Yes,
Yeah.
because flowers always match.
Well, it's the similar
Says the
color.
one guy on the panel
It's also
today.
black and green, so if it was like green and blue or one...
There's a lot of green. It's okay. And
For those of you listening
I'm the only
without
guy
video.
on the panel. And I'm Dave Klein. John sadly could not make it today. Swamped at work, so
Work.
it happens.
He's working.
And what an episode to miss, John. What an episode to
Oh,
miss.
God.
Can you think of one thing that really was significant in this episode? I mean, come on. What actually happened?
Well, I mean, like, Connie was pretty funny again in the beginning, sort of.
We met a new military guy. He seemed pretty cool.
Yeah, he was
I
a
can't
cool
remember
guy.
his name, but
Pixis.
that's Pixis. Thank you.
Pixis. We met the commander guy who was screaming a lot to get his cadets into order.
Yeah, I mean,
Who had the mustache.
But, I mean, let's face it.
Our
all
protagonist
that really
got
happened
delimbed
was
and-
there's a chess match and a lot of yelling, and I mean, did anything happen?
No, I mean, it's not like...
Thoughts and
I can't remember
Titans and-
anything.
Well, our protagonist died.
That happened. That's right.
That's
Oh.
right. I knew I was forgetting something. Well, it
Wait,
was
you were
just
waiting
so
for me to be the
forgettable.
spoiler jerk?
Yeah.
Okay,
Because
thanks.
I am, so I'm
Nice
like, I
to
gotta
know
let
what
someone
role-
else do it.
It's good to know what role
Yeah,
I play.
because the people in this who are watching this show haven't seen the episode yet, so it's spoiling for
course
everybody.
not. If anyone is watching the series for the first time, Mikasa is our new protagonist.
Yay!
Get used to that.
Yeah.
It's the Mikasa show now. Yay!
Yay!
But speaking of Eren,
Featuring Armin.
at the beginning of the episode, we have Eren versus the Colossal Titan, and Eren does an awesome job. It's swinging and a miss.
You could say it was a David and Goliath match.
Except for David won that match, and
Yeah, and there was a
Then they
slingshot.
became
involved.
I don't recall
yeah.
Goliath disappearing in a
Goliath-
cloud of smoke.
Goliath
like, in
just
thin
teleports.
air. Like,
Peace,
I
I'm
don't recall
out.
teleportation being a part of that story.
It's the Bible, you never know.
But you do have to give Eren credit for the fact that if the Titan hadn't disappeared, he would have nailed it, and he was the only one who actually went for
Made
it.
me so mad watching this because I was like, he had it. Why are this thing can teleport now too? It just didn't seem fair.
Now you see
Not
it,
only,
and
not only does Eren
don't.
discern that it's smart, but it can teleport? What is that about? That is just
that
not
is a
fair.
broken Titan. She's broken.
And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, I was going to say the same thing. Eren realized that the Titan was planning, that it specifically took out the gate, which I would imagine would be a weaker part of the wall, and the cannons on top. He realized that the Titan was smart, went to go kill it, and then
Yeah.
nothing.
Disappeared.
So this specific one also specifically seems smarter than the other Titans that they've known and met. So
Yeah.
and yeah, so we're learning a lot of new things about Titans in this episode. So one is that this Colossal Titan seems to be different because it is smart
And
it
really,
can
really tall.
apparently- and really, really tall and really, really big and can kick holes in
apparently
things.
teleport.
Yeah, it can teleport or something. And we also find out that a whole bunch of things where we get this little flashback later in the episode that the intelligence of the Titans is up to debate, maybe because a lot of them are different. They lack reproductive organs. They don't know how they reproduce. And,
Or if they reproduce.
or even if they reproduce. And they resemble human males typically. And they regenerate when you attack them.
And
Yay! It takes about 2 minutes on average for a Titan whose head has been blown off by a cannon to regenerate said head. Which, again, says nothing for their intelligence because obviously the brain is not important.
Yeah, and what was also interesting to learn is that these things aren't motivated by hunger. They don't need to eat. They've been cut off from their main food supply for years and years and years, for all this time, and they're still wandering around. They don't need to eat. So that means that their drive to eat humans is solely a drive to kill. And that's terrifying.
And they don't eat other meat.
Yeah.
Just humans.
Because you even see them walking by deers, and nope, deers are
Yeah,
fine.
the other wildlife, it doesn't bother them. They're not concerned with it.
Yeah.
But humans?
So Titans are basically just the apocalypse for humans.
Yeah, kind of.
That's literally all they are, and there's only one way to kill them, which is by striking in the back of their neck. And that's it. So that's what everything. That's why there's 3D maneuvering gear. That's why everything exists is solely so you can get to the back of their neck to swing at the back of their neck. That's everything. So yeah, they basically are giant regenerating things that we know nothing about, and there's only one way to kill them. That's what we get out of this.
And
It's a
their sole
very-
purpose in life seems to be to want to kill you. Ugh.
Yay. It's a very oddly specific weakness.
Yeah, but
Very much so. One that we can't theorize about because spoilers. But
nightmare fuel. Anybody?
Seriously.
if you haven't figured out that this is an awful series that is full of nightmare fuel and bad things by this point in the season, you've obviously been watching Dave's version where all the happy things happen.
So keep watching. Because only good things happen in my mind. La 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 la. That's how I watch
He's
the
in
show.
what we call denial, not the one in Egypt.
And what sucks is for anybody who can't take that, it's unfortunate because now you're stuck. Because after this episode,
You're
are literally
invested.
glued to the screen because of how it ended.
Yeah, this show
Literally
really
glued
like
to the screen would be painful.
the pacing of the show is so fast, and that's one of the best things about the show. And I agree, literally being glued to the screen would be painful. So the advanced team then heads out and has Eren and Connie and all of them head back to headquarters to report what their findings. And we get, as they're heading back, we see Hannah and Franz with each other, wishing each other luck.
You'll be safe as long as I'm with you.
Isn't it adorable?
Oh, honey. Oh, honey.
They're in love. That means
They're gonna
nothing bad
die.
could happen.
Exactly, and especially in this series. And
Do you watch anime?
I watch. I only watch harem anime, so yeah, that's always
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
get out.
no.
We're
Get
done
out.
talking to you.
So, Megan.
Tenchi Muyo is the only anime out there, right?
So, Megan.
Okay, so anyways,
Oh, that takes me back.
I really did like
I
that
don't want to
show.
go back there.
So the team is preparing, and Armin's really nervous, and we get him kind of talking about, we get information on the wall, and the fact that this has such a giant breach that so many Titans are going to come through that this is going to screw everything over unless they can seal it. So apparently now there's this idea that maybe they can seal something like that.
But Armin straight up says that they lack the engineering know-how to seal it. These walls were built so long ago that no one knows how to put them back together.
Right.
Their best bet is a very large boulder that has landed near the front gate, but no one can figure out how to lift that. Again,
Well,
when you
that
don't have
whole area.
engineers, you're hosed.
Yeah, that whole area is swarming with Titans. So even if they
Overrun.
did have some sort of mechanism for getting the boulder over there, how are you going to get anybody over there without getting eaten?
And actually a lot of like pitfalls that hopefully they'd wander into, like one of them did. That you see guys just hanging out.
was kind of
"Ah."
They made a contingency plan in the 5 years since this happened. They haven't all had their heads in the sand thinking that this wouldn't happen again.
And they have an
They
evacuation
Yeah.
plan.
Well, they had an evacuation plan last time. We
They
see
have
how well
a
that
more
one went.
orderly evacuation.
Yeah, this time
Yeah.
they've had a little more time, like, oh, maybe this can happen.
But they put up
That's-
a net over the breach, which, you know, a net's going to help.
Lasted for a whole
and
2 seconds.
they built moats. They probably did this a while ago because it takes a while to dig a moat
they had
around
5
the
years.
gate.
Yeah.
So they built several layers of moats around the gate. They put up, we were talking about this last time, barriers. So in case it got broken down again, the boulders wouldn't go flying and kill people. They had time to prepare. And it's obviously not enough, but it's something.
Right. It's like, hopefully it'll be better than nothing. But we move on over to the commander who we meet, which is Commander Pixis, who's playing chess against the king.
Well, he's not the king. He's
Well, he's
a
the
lord.
Lord, you're right.
He was a lord, yeah.
I just
Lord
automatically
Vald.
assume, because he looks like a king. But
He
yeah,
does.
he's Lord Vald.
King Candy.
I honestly, when they say his name, it
no.
sounds like Lord Fart to me.
Yeah.
I'm that juvenile. That's funny to me. But
Yes, we
it's okay.
know.
I'm very juvenile.
Yes, we know.
So anyways.
Please continue.
So they're playing chess against each other, Lord Vald and Commander Pixis, and Lord Vard is just beating him every time.
It's Vald, not Vard.
Vard,
You still want to call
Vard,
him Lord Vard.
Lord Vard.
Okay. So, anyways, they're playing chess, and Pixis keeps on losing to Lord Vald.
Lord Vard.
And
proud
Vald's
of
kind of
you.
like sticking his face like, wow, I can't believe you're commander when you keep losing to me. When they find out that the Titans have breached the walls. Lord Vald is not at all afraid. He's a true captain among men.
Well, I love this
He's just-
character interaction too because, you know, the glass of wine he has is dropped to the ground and it crashes. And Pixis just stands up and grabs the bottle and starts drinking from it. And it's like, you have really good taste. I accept this gift wholeheartedly. Thank you, sir. And turns and walks away.
And then Valdstalt starts freaking out. Valdstalt. Now you've got me doing it.
Ha! That was really the goal.
So he starts freaking out. You have to keep soldiers around my place. You have to protect me. It's your duty. And Pixis goes, no. People are going to die. There may be more bodies that need to be buried than bodies that are able to bury them. We're not sticking around for you.
And
Goodbye.
what was great was we had one of his, I don't think it was a cadet, but one of his soldiers.
It was a wall patrol, wasn't it? He had the rose patch.
Something like that. But he goes like, you know, Vald is like, well, look, if you can't even beat me in a game of chess, you know, what good are you going to be to the people out there? And he, of course, sounds a lot like the rest of the government, as we've been talking about, very
Yeah.
corrupt, who's totally okay with sacrificing lives as long as it means him and his lifestyle remain as cushy and comfortable
Like
as
he even
possible.
says, oh, well, I mean, I guess it's their time to go.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
it's their time.
That's what his response is. So
But-
as long as he's safe, it was their time.
What a
we have-
great guy.
But we have this soldier. I don't think we got his name, or if we did,
I don't
it's-
believe
He
we
doesn't
did.
have a name.
But,
Soldier.
But we
That
had
dude.
him saying, like, look, with all due respect, sir, if General, or is he General Pixis?
Commander?
Commander? Anyway, if Pixis comes up against an actual Titan, he's not going to pull his punches like he does with you. So, like, that was like an oh snap.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of mixed on it, though, because I feel like it should have just been implied. I'm like, that could have been something that was just, it was implied to me before the guy said it. Even though it was a nice oh snap moment.
Given that we don't know anything about Pixis yet, like that's literally all we have to go on. I didn't mind it. I thought it was nice to have something thrown in directly in the face of this corrupt government.
And not every viewer is going to pick up on that without it being said. There'll be back and forth about, well, what did he throw the game? Did he do this? But someone straight up saying, yeah, he's been throwing game after game just to make you happy.
Yeah,
It's good to have it stated.
I guess like that initial interaction, it was just so like clear, like okay, this guy's dumb, and I don't know, just their demeanor. But what we do have to do is cut to a commercial, and we'll be right back. So let's go ahead and cut to that.
Hey guys, Maria Menounos here, and I want to share my newest book, The Every Girl's Guide to Diet and Fitness, with you. Basically, every woman always stops me and asks me how I lost 40 pounds, so I decided to put it all in one book. Everything I did to lose 40 pounds step by step, and how you can too, is in here. I did it with no time, no money, and no willpower, and now I'm going to show you how to do it too. You can pre-order it on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Target, Walmart, wherever books are sold, and it's out June 3rd. So I hope you guys love it. I hope it helps you in your weight loss journey, and please, please tweet me and update me on your progress at Maria Menounos. Thanks.
And oh look, here's that book right here that we were just talking about. Yay! Yeah. So for anyone who is looking into getting in shape, so you know you can, in case Titans do attack, escape and get the hell out. This has plenty of fitness guides in it, plenty of different exercise tips, different types of exercises. The book is chock full with everything. So anything you possibly need for gaining weight from Titans, which is really what it's all about, because you don't want to end up like a certain Eren Yeager.
3D gear not included in the book.
Make sure to check it out. Maybe you can have a little bit of faster reaction times when Titans are jumping up to bite your leg off.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like Jaws.
It really was like, ah. Gotcha.
Anyway, so we have everyone getting their assignments.
And the advantage team has been wiped out. So yeah, or the advanced team, the advantage team.
The Vanguard.
The advanced team has been
Yeah.
wiped out. So yeah, everyone's getting their assignments, and Jean, not too happy.
I was one day away from retirement.
Should be in the interior drinking tea or eating diamonds or doing. I've made that joke every time.
It's actually been applicable.
It's been applicable the entire time, as far as I'm concerned. The Abridged series occasionally hits it straight on the head, and this is definitely one of those times. John doesn't want to be there. He wants to be in the interior. He wants to be in the military police. He doesn't want to go face Titans like he's been training to do for 3 years.
Yeah, I don't know why.
My ticket to easy
He doesn't want to die.
Like, why wouldn't you want to fight those things?
Well,
Because we're not all insane?
I love the way he puts it to Eren. Not all of us are suicidal, you little psychopath.
Yeah.
He's not wrong.
No, he's not wrong. That's the funny thing about it. I mean, Eren's correct, too, in terms of, like, this is what we've been training for 3 years. This is what we've been doing and what we're supposed to do. This is our duty. But at the same time, Jean is completely correct. And this is the one who wants to be suicidal and go out and get eaten, and he's telling me this.
But the thing is, the one who wants to be suicidal and go out and get eaten gives really good motivational speeches.
His spirit is definitely infectious, and his drive, does inspire people. You know, we see people curled up in the fetal position, and they lift their heads up when they hear him talking. And you can see that what he's saying really does have an emotional effect on everyone around him.
Yeah, especially when he slaps Mikasa's hand out. Emotional effect.
Aww.
Eren.
For everyone.
Yeah, so Mikasa is there as they're fighting, and as they break it up, Mikasa comes over and says she just wants to stay with Eren and be wherever he is to protect him.
Yeah, and I love that. He's like, who do you think you are? And we were all like, she's #1, dude.
Yeah. But then they bring her back to the vanguard, to the people guarding the inner wall, because evidently things are going to hell there and they need as many experienced soldiers as they can. And she's not an experienced soldier, but she's #1 and evidently good enough to merit that position. So she's freaking out and trying to protest, and Eren's like, no, just go. I'll be fine.
Slap!
I'll be right back.
Get your hand off of me!
That
Such a
was so
brutal
sad.
response.
But it
when
was
Mikasa's...
something of a reality check, and she kind of did need it.
No, it is a reality check.
Well, he headbutted her first.
Yeah, he also
that was
headbutted
interesting.
her.
Aaron's solution to everything.
Headbutt.
Crackheads.
Bam! But I mean, it's just more just funny because it's kind of like he could have said it to her in a bit of a nicer way than just like slapping her hand away, because she was trying to be sweet and she's like, bam!
Even what he said to Jean was like kind of, it was softer. It was like, hey, look, we need you to get it together.
Yeah.
Because like everybody here needs you. And so, when Jean walked away, he was like, oh, okay, guys, come on, get up. We've got stuff to do. But with Mikasa, it was just like, whatever, I don't need your help. And
Jean was complaining. Mikasa was defying a direct order.
I think it's
Kind of a
also
difference.
I think it's also that Mikasa was in a way talking down to him.
That too.
Because it's like, let me protect you. And that's like, especially with male ego, it's like, what?
I'm the protagonist. I
what
don't
if I was
need
number
that.
5 and you were #1? I don't need your help.
I'll be fine.
Put your ego in check, Eren, and think for 2 seconds. You could probably use her help.
I wasn't planning on dying, okay?
No one
Megan?
ever plans on it.
I wasn't planning anyways. God.
Whatever.
So Armin and Eren are hanging out on the wall, and Eren's all excited. Like, guess what? We can actually jump ranks here.
This is an opportunity.
I loved your reaction as we were watching. He's a glass half full
guy.
type of guy, isn't he?
That's one way to put it.
Yeah.
Common sense is not so common.
And we get a couple of the soldiers we recognize from before. Thomas and Mina are there, so we've actually seen them before.
And then 2 other people that we don't care about.
Yeah,
Pretty much, yeah.
So we have a total of 6 people.
I think 6. I think it sounds right. And all of a sudden, Titans are attacking, so it's time for them to do an offensive, go out and strike them. Eren leads the way by separating himself from the group, really smart.
Good job, everyone.
And as an abnormal strikes, which is that one that looked like a
It was
spider.
like crawling on the roofs, and then it like jumped. It was like on all 4s. It was really weird looking.
Yeah.
Crouching Jaeger, leaping Titan.
Oh.
It jumped out of nowhere and caught one of the guys in its mouth.
Oh, poor
It's like when you have a
Thomas.
cat toy and you're playing with a cat and they leap like 4 feet in the air to grab it. Yeah. Multiply that by Titan. And that's what you have
I like this
here.
specific abnormal. I think it's like extra creepy because of the way it moves around.
Well, yeah, the way
I want
its
more
like
of them to be like
elbows
this.
are up, and like the way its legs were positioned as it's like crawling on the roofs and everything. It was really disturbing.
I want more
Boing.
disturbing ones like that. I like disturbing things.
We just got like 5 disturbing Titans in this episode. Only one
Yeah.
of them was a jumper, but they were
This was
all
probably
disturbing.
your favorite episode so
The jumper
far,
was
then.
the most disturbing,
The
though.
jumper
But
was creepy.
yeah, so catching Thomas in its mouth and goodbye, Thomas.
And what's terrible?
Oh my
too-
God, help me!
Welcome
Gulp.
to what this show is going to be
Yeah,
like.
if
Oh,
you're-
hi, I met you. You're dead.
If you're
Hey, I
not
just met you.
okay
and
with
this is crazy.
people-
But that's a Titan, and you're gonna die.
Nice.
Oh, but yeah, if that's basically the tone for the rest of the series, I think, is this is a character. Don't get attached to them because if you do, they're probably going to get eaten by a Titan.
It's Game of Thrones with a much quicker turnaround time.
Yeah. Well, this time you don't have to worry about actors' contracts or anything like that. It's just
Yeah.
doesn't matter. We can get rid of anybody we want.
Get out of the studio.
And
We're
yeah,
done.
I think
No more
that's
lines.
one of the reasons why the end of this episode resonates so much is because like after we see that happen to Eren, literally all bets are off.
Yeah, but yeah, Eren like just immediately after Thomas just completely separates himself from the group, which is dumb. I mean, honestly, Eren's not bad except for when he gets too hot-headed and he stops thinking. And this is one of those moments where he gets incredibly hot-headed, starts blasting forward without paying attention to his surroundings, and there's Jaws. Jaws is
jumps
there.
Just this Titan comes up from between 2 rooftops, mouth up, just nom, bites his leg off. So Eren goes flying and skidding along the rooftop, and the Titan just kind of goes back under. It's like Jaws or Whack-A-Mole, where they just
Yeah.
pop up and then we never see that one again.
Yeah, you
Just
have
meow.
to hand it to that Titan for being able to time it that well.
It's-
Well done.
Yeah.
It's also in general, you start seeing that the Titans are a lot more badass than they seem. In terms of this giant attack that starts going on, where a Titan sees the string that Mina's on and just pulls it down and recognizes that and pulls the string down, which pulls her down. And the fact that they're quick, they're a lot quicker than they look. They look like these giant hulking slow things, but they're
'cause
quick.
For the most part, we see them like lumbering against the wall, and even when they were lumbering in during that first attack 5 years ago, you know, it looks like they'd be something you'd almost be able to outrun because
Yeah.
they're so vacant-eyed and just kind of lumbering around. But no, these guys are quick and they are ruthless.
Yeah. So this is when you find out the true horror of them. And you're like, oh, those are fast, and they're big, and they want to eat me.
And there are a couple that are really smart. That's terrifying too.
All of the intelligence they seem to have seems to be predatory instinct. They're hunting humans, so they need to be somewhat clever
Yeah.
as far as, okay, human, catch human goes. Everything else, problem-solving skills, forget it.
Yeah, because it's not
So
like
it's a
they
very
need to.
specific area of intelligence.
Yeah. I mean, really, they don't even really need to do anything else because they don't need to
Yeah.
eat, apparently, as far
And
as we can
they
tell.
don't communicate with one another either. That's one of the things that the teacher was saying in the
Yeah.
flashback is that they, as far as people know, they have no higher form of communication either.
If Titans had been able to communicate, humanity would have died a long time ago.
Probably, yeah.
They're like, let's all bang on this wall together at the same time.
1, 2.
Yeah. Like, we'll be our own battering ram.
Seriously, that would have been the end of it.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
We don't need a colossal Titan. We just need all of us together.
That
I
would-
want the story from that point of view.
I don't know.
Well, that
From
wouldn't
the
have lasted.
monster's point of view.
I
I
say
don't
that wouldn't
think
have
I
lasted very
want
long.
A story from the Titan's point of view.
Would've
That
been-
sounds scary.
It would have been a very short story. So, all of a sudden, everybody is dying. So Thomas is dead. Mina gets caught, and she gets taken out by
Eaten.
by the one who kind of peeks his head around the corner.
Fandom calls that one the Moe Titan because it has very big anime eyes.
Ah, the
yeah,
Moe
that
Titan.
The
was
Moe
the
Titan.
weirdest-
I don't.
So creepy.
I don't know. That one
That
actually was the
one
least
was-
creepy to me. I'm like, that one looks too like cutesy.
Well,
That's
it
fine.
was,
It's the
it
Moe
was still
Titan.
really bizarre because most of them have kind of like smaller eyes, and when they do, they're really vacant. This one has like this really angry big
Yeah.
eyes and a huge nose. It was just like, what is that?
Are you a Disney reject?
Yeah.
Well, because and these things are so weird looking that like a lot of times you find yourself kind of laughing, but also at the same time disturbed, and you're laughing because they do look so odd.
yeah.
This one's kind of cute. No, it's not. I changed my mind. Ah.
Speaking of odd ones, Armin has a run-in with God.
It's this big white bald Titan with this big gray beard. It
Yeah.
looks like a lot of classical Judeo-Christian portrayals of God.
Totally does.
And then it goes tries to eat him.
It's like, oh, hi. Oh, I
you
didn't know
there?
that this was what you did.
Are you there, God? It's me, Armin.
Oh, Armin, as he's collapsed, and
God, why?
he can't really do much of anything. He just doesn't even try to get away from it. He just kind of accepts it as it swallows him.
He's too
Frozen with fear.
traumatized.
Yeah, and right when he's about to get plopped into the mouth, that's when he wakes up essentially and is like, ah.
And then
As he
gets
starts
dropped
crawling
in
up the tongue.
anyway.
Trying to
nom.
crawl up the tongue. So, and we get a flashback here where Armin's excited to show Eren about the outside. And this is where we find out about Eren. This is how Eren found out about the outside and how he got so obsessed with the idea we need to get outside. And we also find out what happened to Armin's parents, because we haven't seen Armin's parents. We've only seen his grandparents who died. But his parents apparently snuck outside to check out the outside world. And for some reason, be government or sneaking outside, died or have disappeared.
Yeah, we don't know what happened to them. We don't know if they ever made it to the outside world. We just know that that's what they were planning.
So either they got caught and the government executed them, because in this flashback, Eren is looking at this book of things of the outside world and says, you can't have that, you can't even talk about it, it's treason,
illegal.
you'll be killed.
Yeah.
Or a Titan got them once they got outside. Either way, this is not, or they're still out there and we haven't seen them yet.
Yeah.
That was something that I was wondering about. I was like, well, are his parents dead or did they just disappear?
I mean, they could
They're
be
hanging
alive.
out with Eren's dad.
Yeah.
Wherever the hell.
They're just-
We're just having a parents' convention.
They're
Like
just
a
sipping on
clubhouse?
mimosas, hanging out, like, good thing we found out the truth.
We're having the occasional seance and talk to Mikasa's parents. Our kids are getting along so well.
Oh, now I'm sad.
Well,
Then
we
my
haven't-
work here is
wait,
done.
Wait, we
Yeah,
haven't
we
found out
haven't
anything
gotten
about
to that
Mikasa's parents, though. So,
We haven't gotten to what happened to Mikasa's parents and why she's living with Armin's parents.
Yeah.
So, or not Armin's parents, Eren.
Aaron's parents. But
Yeah.
Well, we can
regardless,
assume that she's living with them for a reason.
right.
Yeah.
But regardless, his parents are gone, and really we get that honed down here, hammered in that you are not allowed to talk about the outside. Hammered down.
Like, they don't even know about the ocean.
Yeah, like the ocean, mountains. I mean, though they seem to have
Glaciers, yeah.
mountainous regions that we see
But they
eventually, but
probably
nothing
can't
like
really,
our
but they
mountain.
can't see. We can see that, from like scenery shots, but they
Right.
can't see anything over the wall.
Yeah.
So
So after that, Eren kind of snaps out of his leg being bitten off for a moment, just enough time to save
His shock.
Armin and throw him out of the mouth of God.
Which
Yeah.
we were kind of all sitting there going, how did he get over there so quickly? Like, apparently he's doing well enough to still be able to use his 3D maneuvering gear to, like, hop over there. So,
Adrenaline, because he has not yet hit shock from blood loss.
I think it's
I
just being
think-
dramatic timing, where it's
Yeah.
just like it was really
a pretty
dramatic. So it actually would have been like if he started swinging over there earlier. I don't-
probably.
It's a pretty glorious jump cut, is what it is.
Yeah, glorious jump cut, but he
it
saves
makes Eren
Armin.
look great, yeah.
Yeah, so he saves Armin, not ready to die yet, reaching out for Armin.
And it's like, I have to see the outside world no matter what. And then, yeah.
Chomp.
Instead, you get to see the inside of
God
a Titan.
was hungry.
Yep.
And you
And
see
Armin-
just his arm
Go flying out.
fly out of the mouth and just tumble towards the camera and like just go shooting past Armin's head. It was like, I remember this was the first moment in this series where my jaw hit the ground and I was like, did they seriously just do that?
I was expecting the
Holy
arm
cow.
to hit Armin in the face.
Oh.
And then it goes,
Because I'm not a good person.
and then there's a big noise, and then you da 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 da,
Well, you gotta hand it to him.
and it becomes a comedy.
Well,
Yeah.
what was your guys' reaction when you first saw those?
Awesome.
I initially watched the episodes out of order. I came in later and then went back, so I already knew that things had gone down.
That you already knew.
I'll
this
say-
happened.
I came in at like episode 9 initially. I think it was 9.
So I mean, John introduced me to the show. He's my roommate, and he also kind of ruined the show. So he basically kind of ruined things in the future. But I was just like, this is awesome. I love that they did that. I mean, taking risks like that, I love things like that, and you rarely see it where like you built up this major protagonist, and all of a sudden, 5 episodes
Episode
in,
I'm
five.
telling you,
yeah.
Mikasa's our main character
gone.
now.
The only time I've seen anything similar was actually Yu Yu Hakusho, where they killed off their main character in the first episode. But even then, the entire point of that particular arc was to get him to come back to life. So, but yeah, like this was really something out of the ordinary that you don't see very often in TV.
especially because everything with Eren has been like this badass moment, like, oh, everything's gonna be awesome. He's gonna make it, and then all of a sudden, like things are looking up, and then all of a sudden, last week there's a Titan behind you, and then this week it's like really badass music as he's coming in to hone for the kill, like the really epic horns blaring, and he's flying in, and then the jaws hits him. But it's like literally like you have this awesome action music, like, oh, he's gonna make it. It's just epic music, and they do a really good job of building it up to this.
And I think John, if he were here, he would be like, this is another example of pride come before the fall.
Oh, yeah.
You know, we have, Eren saying, hey, we're going to jump through the ranks, we're going to go kill these Titans, and he has his, squad members going, hey, save some of the glory for us, and everything like that. And sure enough, it's when you think you're invincible like that, your world comes crashing down, I suppose you could say.
Wait, so what was your reaction? You asked us ours.
Oh, I like I said, my jaw dropped, and I immediately had to watch the next episode. I was like, I need to see what happened. Like, it was that point where I'm like, shoot, like, I am hooked.
This is absolutely what this show's great about. It really, like, there's so many moments in every episode where you're like, oh, like last week was the Titan, all of a sudden the Colossal Titan appears, you're like, I need to see what happens. I need to see what happens. And this time Eren gets eaten. I need to see what happens.
I need to see what happens.
And Mikasa turns as if she can tell something's gone wrong.
Well, Armin let out a pretty glorious scream. Kudos to the voice actor on that one for not passing out in the booth, Dragon Ball Z style.
That was an awesome scream. And maybe he did pass out in the booth.
Well, scream wasn't long enough, I don't think.
Well, that happened a lot when they were recording
they
Dragon
were
Ball
dubbing
Z.
DBZ.
Like, those poor voice actors
He passed out in the booth more than once.
But with that kind of wraps up the episode. So next week, Eren's dead.
Yay!
It is very interesting. Where can the show go once the protagonist is dead?
I've already told you.
More horror.
To hell.
We've been there. We started there, and we're just
deeper.
going down levels.
Yeah.
Eventually, we're going to hit Satan's frozen head chewing on traitors here. That's what we're going to.
That would be amazing. But yeah, deeper and deeper into the circle.
Has no one else read
No,
Dante?
we read Dante's Inferno.
Okay.
It's okay.
So guys, thank you so much for joining us this week. Once again, I'm Dave Klein. You can find me on Twitter at @TheDaveKlein. That's Klein.
And you can find me on Twitter at @TheMenguin. That's TheMenguin. I also do the Sword Art Online and Turn AfterBuzz is here on Sunday nights.
I'm Katie Cullen. You can find me on Twitter and Tumblr at Kiaxet. That's Kiaxet. I'm also on Sword Art Online. And be sure to drop by iTunes. Tell us just how much you love us and give us 5 stars.
Yay! Woo! And make sure to check out the Every Girl's Guide to Diet and Fitness.
That too, yes.
Out today.
It will help you defeat Titans.
Yes.
Exactly. See you guys next week. Later.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.